haven't done a welcome to the Top Corner podcast in a while. Well, here you have it. Welcome to Top Corner podcast, and today's co-host is Julian. With me, of course, my name is Jordan. That wasn't too much energy, so I'm trying to stay, neutral, that sweet spot. Well, let's talk about the Premier League. Right now, it's really exciting, especially getting towards the end. This is where the Sharks come out.
Final stretch, baby.
Yeah, it is. The guys that are trying to get relegated, not really trying, but
I think some of them are trying.
Some of them are trying.
Some of them are actually trying.
Those guys will come out swinging. They will be shooting everywhere, even if the bullet go astray and it doesn't, get anyone. At least the
bullet's never on target.
Definitely. But some of them might be trouble. But right now, there's something exciting. Well, there's a lot of things exciting. Arsenal City. There's a lot of pressure from Arsenal. A lot of pressure from Arsenal by City. Yeah. Because they actively hunting, but because they drew last game or last match, however you feel like it's supposed to have the football jargon.
Really fast, if someone has a problem with that, your priorities are in the wrong place. I got to be honest with you.
That's true. But with that being said, City drew, and they're sitting now with 60 points, while Arsenal is at 67 points. Yeah. I personally think right now it's just to lose because I feel like they don't get position. But if you look at certain things here, let's try to do this. What are the I feel like the most, I don't want to say toughest, but I feel like this will be the games where they will have to win. They have a game against City in mid-April. They have a game against Newcastle, and this is at home. So Newcastle is at home, and right now Newcastle is looking like someone that might bite anyone.
yeah, like it's like their form is in. They're almost like they're like a D-rated version of Chelsea, where it's like on any day they can be very good, but the consistency is not there. Even when they're not in great form, sitting at 12th right now, you don't want to go to St. James and play.
No,
you don't want to go over there.
And West Ham, because West Ham is in the relegation zone. These three, West Ham, Burnley, Wolves, I think West Ham more so will be fighting because they have 28 points with Nottingham Forest, which is sitting at 17. Yeah. And Tottenham at 16, and they have 29 points. So you have 29, 28, 28.
Yeah,
so
it is absolutely a three-way.
Easy.
Yeah, a three-way relegation battle at the bottom there. Yeah. And West Ham have nothing to, they do have something to lose, and that makes them play a bit more risky, but in a way that I think that kind of risky is what Arteta does not want to face. Yeah, because he's so measured and so calculated that he's assuming that you have tactics as well. Yeah, and that his tactics perform yours.
That's true.
But if you go in without so much as tactic and more so as we just have to get the result, he does seem to buckle under pressure, and this version of Arsenal does get kind of not complacent, but they lose their edge if they're 0-0 by the 30th minute or so. If things don't go their way early, they do lose a lot of steam.
Yeah, I think that's what I want us to talk about. But before, though, there's a race too at the top, which is Arsenal, City, United, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool. Let's talk about the top 6 and let's talk about the top 4 even. What I mean by that, they all want to play the Champions League. So even though I can say right now, to be honest, I think Arsenal will win the league, and I don't want City to win the league. For personal reasons. The reason is because...
Can you explain that? I was going to ask you.
Pep Guardiola is going to build a solid resume to argue. I like this argument. I know Julian sometimes don't like the argument, but I like it. Was the GOAT. And I feel like if he wins with this team...
Wow,
although people say, well, he spent money. It's not about the money aspect. Yeah, it's about the team itself. The team is not great. Yes, the players are great on paper. But as a team, there's no cohesion. The back looks shaky. They are not convincing day in and day out. And if he wins the league with this team, that will be, for me, I feel like that will be a little bit of a stab in my heart.
Yeah. Well, and what's funny is that the way that you just described everything about that team currently, you could say for Real Madrid as well.
That's true.
Every single thing about it. But
that's true.
I agree with you. If he's able to turn this around, and I mean, Real Madrid can also show you it's not the budget sheet. It's not how much the guys are on weekly salary. It's the congruous nature of how they play together, what they bring to the team or don't bring to the team, or more importantly, in Real Madrid's case, I think what they bring to the team is counterintuitive to what other people bring. To the team, it's not working together. But yeah, if he's able to get a result out of this, it's more shocking, I think, than Arne Slot winning last year with a ready-made squad.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect a manager to come in and immediately win the Premier League title, especially in their first go-around. But that team was already built by Jurgen Klopp, and they were all on the same page. If Pep, even though he's been there long and he's helped shape this squad, over the last 4 years or so, and we've talked about it, especially in this podcast, really when we started this podcast was when the transfers started to not make much sense. Or not that they didn't make sense, but that the quality of the player did not seem to represent what was demanded of them tactically.
Especially by a manager like Pep.
Exactly. Yes, he was trying to get one-for-ones on Leroy Sané, on David Silva, who he did find the heir to in Kevin De Bruyne. He never found the heir for Kevin De Bruyne. He had Fernandinho. He was looking for an heir to him. He found it in Rodri.
Yeah.
Now he cannot find an heir for Rodri. So like your guys in the wings are good with the ball at their feet, but they can't do much with it outside of their own person. But they also don't have the creativity to build on their own chances for themselves. And you said it earlier on, it is Arsenal's league to lose. They're 7 points ahead, definitely. But City have a game in hand.
Yeah.
So it's not an assured 3 points to fill in that gap. But yeah, I mean it is Arsenal's to lose. Yeah. They dictate whether they win or lose currently right now. And that draw from City really helped alleviate the pressure of the Man City Arsenal game in April being almost a playoff game, or or a single elimination game in a way that when it shakes down that way that late.
Yeah, and there's also an interesting battle even at the top four. United against Aston Villa. They both have the same point, but goal difference is I think United has plus 11.
Yeah,
and Aston Villa plus 5.
Plus 5. Yeah. Yes. So Aston Villa need to get some results, and they also need to start letting more goals or scoring more goals. And I think that the top 6 is going to stay almost the exact same as it is right now. I think that Chelsea muscle out Aston Villa.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I think. I think that it goes Arsenal, Man City, United, Chelsea. Aston Villa. So? Aston Villa sink just a little bit lower, but not too low. And even though Liverpool have better quality in the squad than Aston Villa.
Yeah,
they're still not playing as convincingly. Like they're getting a few better results. Some of the guys look like they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, finding their place in the squad. I think Dominic Szoboszlai, even when he doesn't have a great game, it shows that he is a great player.
Yeah.
And there are a couple other guys like that in that squad as well. I think that Hugo Ekitike is always that way.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's even in form in that game, you see the great player in there, and you see what he can do outside of that squad. And I heard that Dominic Szoboszlai, that Vinny Jr. once put Dominic Szoboszlai at Real Madrid.
Oh, for real?
That makes sense.
They might be gunning for a lot of players.
They need somebody that's attacking minded, that is also skilled with the ball, but can also take the shots for themselves. Because they have Fede Valverde, who can do all those things.
Yeah.
But because he spends so much time at right back, because they have so many injuries in the midfield as well, you need somebody else in there that can do that. You need them working together.
Yeah. You need someone in that middle, especially. And talking about the United, I think what really changed or pressured a lot of this team is the quick turnaround of United by Carrick. And we said if he can win at least 7 out of 10 games, I would think I don't want to say United is back per se, but I would say United is on track to being back. As a team.
For sure.
And do you think they will still give him the job? And right now he had played 8 games, 6 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. When you look at that, would you give the Carrick the job, or because they're still talking about bringing Luis Enrique?
That's the only one. And we talked about this a couple months ago as well. And we said, if at 8 games he is 1, 6, or 7, yes. So by what we've said earlier on about our personal expectations, I would say yes. That is the only manager that I can see on the available market right now. That if you can get Luis Enrique,
then you give it to
him. Carrick is still young. I think that Carrick even has if Zidane can go away and come back, Carrick can go back. So I think that he would understand that as well.
I think so.
As a young manager, former player, knowing firsthand what those great players look up to in a manager. If he can go away somewhere that's a step up from where he was, that's still a step down from United, in terms of popularity and notoriety. then I think that he can come back. I think that fans would not think twice about bringing him back. I don't think there's any shame in losing this interim spot to the most sought-after manager currently on the planet available under the pretense of still coming back later. So, because they need somebody still to whip the squad into shape and really...
to shape that squad to a winning squad too.
Exactly. And so I think that Carrick is showing himself really good as a man manager, getting these guys in order. But he's going to still have to build a new squad. Now, Luis Enrique has proven that he can build, and then Carrick can come back in and kind of step into it with new guys under the belt.
That speaks also to experience, because there's a difference. Building a squad, especially a challenging, a competitive squad, is different. So I personally, I agree with that, and I think if Carrick feels some kind of way, this is actually a pop for him, because everyone is looking in any league and say, well, if we had to get someone, if I'm Sporting, whatever, Galatasaray, whatever team it may be, I could get Carrick. And for him, he can I would say, just leave and go build something. Then you can always come back if you really want to get there.
Especially with those kind of clubs that don't have a ton of financial assets. He might be the next Unai Emery in terms of, I'm not known for bringing in like assembling the team. Like a Pep Guardiola, where like he builds it from the ground up and every person in the squad is his. He seems like he's one of those guys like Emery that can kind of look at the squad, look at what's available, and figure out how to get the most out of them. And I'll tell you what, selling clubs love those guys.
That's true too.
They get the guys that can just make the most of who is there with no questions asked. You don't have any blank, we can't cut you a blank check. We can get you 2 guys, but you have to make the most of it from there on. And he's showing that, and I'll tell you what, man, that is invaluable. You're more likely to get more work throughout your career, showing that you can do that, than if you give me 8 years and $1 billion. It's like there's a place for that as well. I'm not saying that it's not worth something, but a lot of big clubs and selling clubs are looking for managers that can get something out of who's already on the team sheet.
I mean, let's even take in the case of Tottenham right now, I don't think the new coach, three games. It doesn't seem like it's working, and it's not that we expect him to start winning kinda, because today's football is a little different. You just have to be honest. Everything is moving at a fast pace. There's investment, there's money in play, there's the fans. They want to see you guys win.
It's moving too fast. It's moving unnaturally fast.
That's true. No matter how we want to whip this into X, Y, Z, the reality is, if you get a new coach, you get new investment, whatever it may be, they want to see a sprinkle of what could be if you were to bring these guys into shape. But right now, it doesn't seem like it. When you look at Tottenham, everybody is everywhere. I till today, I don't know Xavi Simons. I don't know where he's even playing.
I don't think he knows where he's playing.
There's no. So I think if they wanted something like Carrick, I would be like, hey, Carrick, you can go there.
Sometimes it feels like Xavi Simons doesn't even really know what city he's in. At any given moment, he's like, where? Looking at the stands, he's having to look at the shirts.
I don't think anyone in Tottenham know where they're supposed to be playing, because as I look at Colomwani, I see him there, I see him here, and then I look again, he's in the middle. I was like,
And it's like at the end of the day, that is a rough squad. And if you look, man, their injury sheet's longer than their available roster, which is brutal, absolutely brutal.
That is true. And Tottenham is on the brink of relegation.
Do you think that they actually will get relegated?
Man, for that caliber of club to be relegated, I feel like it's a loss of the Premier League. It's a loss of a good team for Premier League in terms of its you can say an institution or the league itself, and it's just so much of a loss for Tottenham, because you go to Championship, what are you gonna do there? Win everything.
You're gonna win a bunch of games. You're gonna feel like United in the early 2000s.
We gotta be honest. It's not a Championship team.
I saw a really good meme that was it was from Borat, the movie, where it's like Championship clubs come into Tottenham Stadium for the first time, and it's the scene where he's in the hotel room. He's like, "Wow, look at this, look at this chair, king in the castle."
What are you gonna do? So they gotta
be awesome.
They gotta fight hard. They are sitting now with 29 points. It's Tottenham. I think they won't get relegated.
Man, because I would love nothing more than to see Millwall at an away game at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium going this is fucking nuts. Look at this. They've got heated seats.
What we got here?
They've got heated seats and everything.
They serve food? I've never had food in stadium, but I think that's that.
I just usually have a Greg sausage roll.
Tottenham gotta fight hard. And probably next year we might see a better Tottenham than what we see right now.
Is it sad that I want to see it just for the spectacle? I'm taking the fandom out because it's not sad. Spurs are Arsenal's little brother. Like I don't quite. It's like I'd rather. It's my older cousin Liverpool.
Yeah.
That I'd rather like. I have a bit more of a rivalry with them and Man City right now than Spurs. It's just it could be any of the big six that are in this spot. True. It's like I kind of want to see it. Just like you want to see Leicester win the league.
That's true.
This is just the opposite of that. And like, I think that was a pretty outstanding moment in terms of likelihood. Leicester winning the league.
Yeah.
Spurs getting relegated is nuts, especially for how much money's been spent to keep them. Obviously not in actual Premier League contention. Daniel Levy made that clear.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho said it. They don't want to win.
You know what?
You're absolutely right. They don't want to win. They want to get relegated.
I think my opinion is that the fact that Spurs have always been turning around and trying to always, yes, I know from what I've read, they have a clean balance sheet. They make good decisions. But there was never an incentive or pressure to win the league. I think that fact is showing right now because there was never something to fight for, but more of something to maintain.
There's never a roadmap. They were they're in search of treasure, but everybody else actually has a map. They've talked to the local villages, like they've heard the stories of where the gold is. Yeah. Spurs just drive over the mountainside. They're like, it's over there. We're going
over there.